Mike Baldwin tribute speech. Imagine you're in a house, nay, in an alley, and nothing but the inky black of night around you and only the flickering, failing light from nearby street lamps to guide your way. Suddenly, clang! You hear a noise. Are you being followed? No, it's just a dog. And as you turn to continue on your way, BAM! There's a man with a knife, and then it's all over. This scene could have been taken from a movie written by Alfred Hitchcock, as it contains many of the groundbreaking techniques that he used. Hitchcock wrote films like The Birds, Vertigo, and Psycho, and had many groundbreaking techniques, books, radio and television shows, and almost countless awards. As The Guardian, a UK post, stated, Hitchcock was a rare thing, a hugely successful director who learned from the avant-garde. Now, to divulge why we should praise and respect Hitchcock, we must first visit his early life, then go over his achievements, and finally look at the lasting films and techniques that he developed. First, Hitchcock was born in August of 1899 to a middle-class family in England. Now, while there, he described his life as lonely and sheltered, which may have led to his adventurous style of directing. Now, Hitchcock made one of the most important decisions of his life while in England. This decision was to work at a playhouse called Hensley's, because it was there he developed his love for filmography. And after working at Hensley's for a short period, he went to work at the soon-to-be famous Paramount Pictures, and in 5 short years went from his lowly entry-level position to the esteemed position of director. Now, once Hitchcock became a director, he had many, many, many achievements. Some of these achievements include 8 Laurel Awards, which are old awards given for excellence, 2 Golden Globes, multiple Emmy and Academy Awards, and 11 Oscar nominations. But perhaps most impressive out of all of these is his almost unprecedented feat of 2 multiple Academy and Emmy nomination movies in the same year. Rebecca, one of the movies, won most of its nominations. However, Foreign Correspondent, the other movie, did not win almost any, but still, 2 multiple nominations is almost unthinkable. Now, there's more to Hitchcock than just film. He also wrote books. He had radio shows. But, most famously, he had a TV show called Alfred Hitchcock Presents. This show was written and produced by Alfred Hitchcock, and it ran for 10 seasons and an impressive 361 episodes. What Alfred Hitchcock Presents was about was it was Alfred Hitchcock dissecting dramas and suspense television shows and movies that were coming out, and giving his critiques and his opinion. Now, Hitchcock was, while he wasn't all about film, film was his forte. And he made many contributions to film, such as creating a new genre of movie called thriller, using the camera in new, innovative ways, and having many groundbreaking suspense techniques that are still used in movies today. Now, one of Hitchcock's more famous uses was the camera. How he used the camera was different than anybody before. He used the camera as the character's eyes to let the audience see what they saw. And he used the camera to disperse and intensify emotion by panning out and panning in, respectively. Now, Hitchcock may have liked cameras and emotions were nice, but suspense was his love, was his home. Was where he always wanted to be, and he was a master of suspense. One of Hitchcock's famous ways of getting the audience on the edge of their seat was to give them a little information. Not enough that you have the entire picture, because then the movie's boring, but just enough so that you're not in the dark. Now, an example of this would be, imagine a person in a room. Now imagine a shadow on the stairs. Now, you don't know if the shadow is a murderer, a friend, or if it's even the same house. All you know is that there's a person in a room and a shadow on the stairs. Don't you want to know what happens next? Now, Hitchcock's most famous technique that is still used in movies today was the MacGuffin. This suspense technique was to placate the audience. It was a fake tension reliever. In my story, the MacGuffin was the dog. You thought that you were being followed, and while you were right, it appeared that you weren't right for a second because the dog appeared instead of a person. MacGuffin was used many times and is still used in films today. Now, Hitchcock left us many classic films, such as Dial M for Murder, 39 Steps, North by Northwest, Strangers on a Train, The Birds, Rear Window, Vertigo, and Psycho, and many others. And all of these used his new techniques. For example, in Psycho, the famous shower scene, we have enough information that we know that someone is playing the mother, but we don't know who it is. We never see her. We only get glimpses. We see shadows. We hear voices, but we never see and can never define it, which always keeps us in a state of confusion. The fact that he came from a middle-class family and rose to be a world-class director, not to mention his many achievements, and the fact that he had developed techniques that are still used today and left us so many classic films, Alfred Hitchcock is not only worthy of our praise, he deserves it.